This custom project kicked my ass.
Cobra Rattler, it's the wickedest weapon yet, you know.
So all throughout the history of G.I. Joe, a lot of vehicles got upgrades. They got newer versions. You got the Vamp Mark II, you got the Hiss 2, the Hiss 3, the Hiss 4, on and on and on, things like that. And I understand with larger vehicles, it's probably not cost effective for Hasbro to come out with newer versions, more upgrades and updates versus just repainting them like the Sky Striker or the Rattler. But saying that, the Rattler is such an awesome and iconic vehicle for G.I. Joe, and the fact that it's based on the A-10 Thunderbolt II or the A-10 Warthog, whatever you want to call it. It's the same plane, which is such a beast. Well, I decided that maybe Destro needed to make a version 2 Rattler for Cobra Commander and his cronies. I have to say that I love making customs. Out of all the customs that I've made, this one, there is something going on with it. Some kind of gremlins. This thing beat me down time and again. The initial one that I started customizing, for some reason, one piece of this entire vehicle decided that it was going to warp and then it was going to snap. No matter what tricks I tried to pull out to fix this one part of a wing and straighten it out, nothing worked. Then, if it wasn't for my good buddy Suka, I wouldn't have had a replacement plane, but Suka was kind enough to gift me a replacement aircraft, the entire aircraft, so I could finish the custom. Then when I get the vehicle and I start working on it, my camera decides to stop recording halfway through the rebuild of the vehicle, where I explain the updated cockpit, why I went with the Rattler turret instead of the in-air refueling port that Suka gave me, because again, I'm doing a version 2 of a Rattler. So I wanted that one element of the original Rattler. All the stuff that I showed, how I put it together, gone. Shit happens, and here we are. This one was rough. Let's get into it. All right, so here's the plane that I got. It's got Air Force branding here. Pretty straightforward. And this is what comes in the box. And this thing is branded Toy Association. Pull it out of the box. There it is. These crappy figures. Weapons on some trees. These missiles. Got this clear canopy. Gunner's turret. Gunner's turret works just fine. The lights and the sounds do not. Do something with this clear canopy. We're going to smoke that. And this clear piece of crap cockpit is going to get replaced. The gears on this, not so bad, but they're not accurate. We're going to replace those as well. But do you see a gun on here? There is no GA-U8 Avenger. I have no idea why. So now we're just going to disassemble this. There's lots of tiny screws in this thing. And the way this vehicle is held together is kind of a nightmare. It's like all clamshelled together. And that wing just popped off. But it's good to have a magnetic screwdriver for something like this. That way you don't lose the screws. Take all this apart, pull the gear out. I'm just going to rip the electronics out. Pull the rest of the gear out. Take this wing apart. There we go. Clean up my space. So this has to come off right here. So we'll just take the 320 grit sandpaper really fine. And we just start sanding all in the same direction. Because the way this is on here, it's like globs of paint. It'll show through anything I paint over. Plus, you want to scuff it before you prime it. Now we'll wash it. Boom. So now the vehicle is painted. It's all coming back together. So now I'm just going to start putting all these little screws back in there. And I'm wearing a glove on my left hand so I don't get a bunch of fingerprints all over the black. Even though the paint is satin black, I still don't want to squeeze it too hard and put a bunch of fingerprints on it. And then right here, I dumped all my screws on the floor, and for some reason, I forgot to edit this out, so I'm picking up all the screws. And we'll just keep putting it back together. Again, this was a fun project to do, but it was kind of frustrating at the same time. See these channel grooves right here? So this cockpit seat just kind of locks down in here. Again, I got that from Suka, really awesome. So we're just trying to fit all the pieces of this clamshell back together with the ring for the gunner's turret, put the nose cone in. I don't know why only one wing goes in without the screws. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the time where my camera decided to stop recording. So half of the reassembly of the vehicle is just lost. Shit happens. I can't take it apart and put it back together. And here it is, all assembled. Got the GAU-8 Avenger gun from Suka put in. Got the gray paint on the bottom, black on the top. Look at this thing. Look at it. This was an in-air refueling port that Suka printed for me to go in the turret, but I decided to use the original Rattler turret. This is the wing that just went to shit on me in the first plane. I tried to boil it, then I tried to heavy clamp it down to a cutting board. Nothing. It still snapped. Totally warped. Ooh. So, whatever. So now we're going to sticker the plane. Now that it's complete, I'm going to use these as nose art. And since it's a Rattler version 2, I got reproduction Rattler stickers from TOYHAX, as always. And since it's a version 2, I don't have to go off of any existing directions on where to put the stickers. I just kind of put them wherever I want. Using my old tried and true tweezers. Make it look like it fits in with G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, but it's also unique because I made this. I really like the way this vehicle turned out. The satin black looks really good with that flat gray. All these little stickers on it. Try to never overdo stickers, but Rattlers are really sticker heavy, so I wanted to make it look like an update to the Rattler, staying in the same theme but also doing something different. Little no step stickers. They're so hard to get off the sheet. Just keep trucking until I feel it is exactly what I see in my head. Again, my customs are always 70% solutions, and then I just kind of walk the rest in. All right, so now I'm going to cut the Moray sticker to make nose art. Boom. There it is. So like the snake's coming off the black body. I think that looks really good. And then there's the other side. Rattler version 2 nose art. Yeah, all done. Look at this thing. Really happy with how this came out. Now we're going to put the armament on. So the weapons I took from a Tiger Rat, and I really like the red because it contrasts the vehicle. Just like that. Yeah. All right, so we got the GAU-8 Avenger, and now it's all stickered up. But what is this thing? This is the Lightning Advanced Targeting Pod, or the Sniper Pod. You find those on the Thunderbolt II. So there it is. I wanted it to look legit. Armaments on. Here's the new landing gear from Suka. These are legitimate reproductions of A-10 Thunderbolt II landing gear. You can see I put some black and some chrome. I kind of dirtied up the white. Look at that nose art. Came out perfect. Here it is. Got the smoke canopy. Put chrome on the exhaust. And here's that Rattler turret. Of course it opens. You can fit a gunner in there. Works just fine. Some more views of it. Smoke canopy really matches that turret. I love the red armament, the way that it pops with all the red stickers. Yep. Let's get this sucker on the turntable. And here we have it. The Cobra Rattler version 2.
Introducing the Cobra Rattler
version 2. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this custom video. And again, I have to give a giant shout out to my friend Suka Prime for getting me the GAU-8 Avenger gun and for expertly 3D printing that thing. It just plugged right in. I wish I had that part of the video so I could have shown off his skills, but gremlins again. It was a fun project, but at the same time, it was very trying. I've been working on this. I hate to say it, but since May, when that original wing warped and then snapped. But you know, Semper Gumby, always flexible, and you know, resilience. It pays off. I was pretty happy with how this vehicle turned out. I like the way that the red really contrasts that satin black and the flat gray of the body. I really wanted to do a two-tone vehicle. I hope you enjoyed this custom Rattler version 2 build. Again, it was a little rocky at parts, and I apologize for that, but that's how it goes. And I just wanted to share it because I think when we make customs, we inspire other people to make customs, and we all kind of reignite each other's fires to kind of, you know, just get on the ball there. But that being said, I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I know that YouTube, unfortunately, has been unsubscribing people from channels again. Please double check that you're subscribed to the channel because strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Hopefully you got that reference. And if you're not subscribed, it's something you can do for free. Just hit that button on the way out. Maybe click the notification bell so you get notified the next time I put out content that has parts missing.
Chad, how insensitive of you.
And again, I'd like to thank all my channel members. So leave a comment below. Let's talk some Custom Joe and have an awesome day.